Hello, we're at the Black Country Living Landscape. I'm with Julia. Welcome.
Hiya.
We're here today to kind of promote for people to come out and celebrate and share natural beauty and surroundings. And tell us a bit more about what you do here in the project.
Black Country Living Landscape is a community involvement programme. We're funded by Natural England as part of its Access to Nature programme, which is funded by the Big Lotteries Changing Spaces Fund. And they are funding the project for 3 years to get out into the Black Country and encourage lots of people to revisit their natural places and to get involved with their natural environment through bug hunts, bird watching, joining a friends group, anything to do with the environment really, but really trying to get people to look after their community green spaces and use them. So as they're a great resource, so get out there and use them and enjoy them as well.
We've picked a lovely day.
We have indeed.
I'm now going to go and meet Martin to go out and about in part of the woods.
He's going to scurry you around in the undergrowth.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm with Martin now. We're going to go into the undergrowth, as it were. How long have you been? How long have you been here, Martin?
The project's been going since last November, so myself and Julia started last November, and we've been working throughout the different communities in the Black Country. Even though I'm based here at Moorcroft, I work in Wolverhampton, which is only sort of 5 minutes away from here. But this is one of the main woods that Julia works in, so we're going to have a look, see what we can find in there. Many beasts which are very important in the natural environment, which we'll tell you about when we get in there and find some.
Any in particular that I can look out for?
Worms are fantastic.
Yeah?
Because they're very important. They actually make the soil that we all need in terms of growing plants in your garden or the plants that are in nature reserves. So worms are very important and quite fun with kids and that as well. They either like them or they don't, or they pretend they like them. And then when they go and touch them, they don't like them. So worms are fantastic. Now you mentioned about beetles, and they're so difficult to identify. There's thousands and thousands of them. They all look very similar, but you need to get looking at a microscope, which we do with children. We get mini beasts out and look at through microscopes at them, and they look huge and really scary, like sort of monster type thing. So it's very good to use.
Am I right in saying that beetles will eat one another?
Yeah, in some cases, yeah. They'll eat, because some beetles are predators, so they'll eat other insects, if you like, and other beetles. But usually they have to be small then, mostly, if they want to eat something.
Maybe we could find a beetle and we could call it Paul McCartney for the day, maybe.
Or Ringo Starr.
Yeah, we've got is that a centipede or something?
When it comes out, I'll tell you. Yes, that's a centipede. And the difference between a centipede and a millipede,
yeah.
Obviously there's loads of different species again in the different sizes, but the centipedes have one leg on each segment, so they've got 2 legs on each segment either side, whereas a millipede has 2 on each segment, so you've got 4 on each segment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and what benefit is that to nature?
Food webs and food chains. Everything relies on the soil, like I said earlier about worms, because they make soil. All the other mini beasts have a job to do. Saliva decomposes, so any leaf litter will come down and they'll eat that, and their faeces will come out, and that'll be the soil. Or they also act as food for birds, other bigger insects that we said, small mammals, and then it goes up the food chain. So if we didn't have any mini beasts and insects, then the things higher up in the food chain, mice, birds, they won't be able to live, and then things above that go on from there, and hopefully look after the environment and get more involved in it, because it is very important.
Oh, it's a fat worm.
Which you won't
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
That worm's huge.
They've actually got no eyes, worms, haven't
they?
They're very light sensitive, so that's why he's trying to escape from me as well, and me trying to pull him.
Because he can feel...
It can feel me, it's all sensors, They've got like several hundred sensors on each little bit of they've got a snout and a tail end as well.
Looking at that worm reminds me of Tremors. Do you remember that film?
It's
not as big, but it's doing the same thing.
But yeah, they are light sensitive, so even though they haven't got eyes, well, they're very important, like I said earlier, to make soil. But he's not going to come out.
So a big bird would come and capture that?
Yeah, and because you can make wormeries. I did an event at the weekend in Bilston on making wormeries with children, and one of the ways you can get earthworms up is to put water down, and that's because the burrows that are underground, you take all the water, so they need to get out, else they'll drown. So worms are very important in terms of gardening as well, because if they wasn't all those holes and burrows in the ground, we get a little bit more flooding than we do, because the water goes into the burrow.
Why are stinging nettles of use? Because obviously there's lots of them about, and whatever's here is here because it's got a purpose.
Well, they're very... I will put that back in a minute. Very aggressive species, and they grow where there's a lot of fertile soil, so if there's any work being done, if you clean a pond...
And is it true? I know this isn't woodland related,
right,
but is it true that if you put a spider down the plug hole, as some people do, they sort of flush it down as it's in the bath, that it can actually come back up?
They do come back up, yeah.
I don't know how that happens though.
Well, it might take them a while, because obviously it depends where they stop and where they manage to get hold of again, but they'll come back up so they come to the light.
Yeah.
So it might not be the same one. If you keep doing it, it might not be the same one.
Yeah.
They will, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Once you get me started, I'll ask you loads and loads of questions. Also, it's stuff that people want to know about.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's so many things related to the natural environment. Everything should be a holistic view about everything, not just, like I say, in terms of food, webs and change, it's the whole thing in terms of how crops are growing and everything, if we've having any good swim able to do like pollination. So I know bees are a big thing this year, because we are declining.
I was going to say, I've not seen so many bees, definitely not. It's a shame really, because I like bees. People get scared of them, but a bee's only ever going to sting you if it actually has to, because it'll die.
That's it, yeah.
You know, wasps are different.
Yeah, they are quite different times of year, sort of back end of the year, sort of autumn time, if you find a wasp's nest. Obviously stay clear of it anyway, but at that time of year they're very agitated because they're on the way out.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to do their own thing, so they'll still give us
So,
ability.
out here at night time, you'll see kind of more badgers, early morning, rabbits.
I'm not sure if there's badgers in it, but yeah, when there's less disturbance, we get quite a lot of buzzards as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. There's, again, in the last sort of 20 years, buzzards have done really well. When I was younger at primary school, I never saw a buzzard in the last sort of 10 years since I've been working in this environment. There's been loads. There isn't a day that I won't see one flying around, and we do get them obviously because there is the availability of food in small mammals and such like. And there is one that a young one must be nested somewhere early in the year. The young one flits in between the school play area across there in the morning.
I used to like the house martin. You would come across here for the summer here,
and then go
over to Spain. Yeah. And how can a bird know where to go all that distance and go all the way over to another country?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, how does that happen? It's just unbelievable.
It is. If I knew that, I'd probably be a rich man, to be honest.
Yeah.
If we just have a look at the pool, we won't do any pond dipping, but pond dipping
is
another...
you've got a pool. Pond there. We're just by the water. Never realised that you had all this just on the doorstep.
Damselfly. I think it's a blue-tailed. If you look at the very back end, it's got quite a bright blue. It's just landing on that.
And they're so light that they can just literally stand on the water.
Pretty much, yeah. People get confused between damselflies and dragonflies.
Yeah.
And there's another one just flitting in as well.
That's what this is so nice. I mean, you could be anywhere in the world looking at this, can't you? With the sun out, look at the ducks, the fish. People come fishing here?
Yeah, they do. It's very popular.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much to Martin. Thanks for showing me around. It's been great.
Thank you for coming.
I honestly didn't know that this was on my doorstep.
Yeah,
either,
well,
so.
that was the aim, to get people to look on the doorstep. There's loads of natural spaces what you can enjoy.
Well, thank you, and also thank you, Julia.
Thank you very much.
And people can go on and have a little chat on the website, can't they? And post some comments.
Yes. As you experience, there's loads of fantastic places in the Black Country. We really want to promote these areas. So if you can go on to heartoflandscape.com, you can actually share your special places within the Black Country. It may be a park, an area of countryside, a nature reserve like Moorcroft Wood here. It could even be an historic building or a modern development. And on the heartoflandscape.com, you'll find an interactive map on the Heart of Landscape website which allows you to locate, share and celebrate your favourite places and landscapes in the Black Country.